Hello friends, finally it seems like a test match is happening in Australia. We are all from India are used to waking up early in the morning and watching the telecast coming from Australia of the test matches whenever India tours down under. Well, India already have played two test matches in the Border-Gavaskar Trophy, though the timings were such that in Perth, which is only 2.5 hours ahead of the Indian Standard Time, the test match started well after daybreak, which was a 7:50 a.m. start, which India won convincingly by 295 runs. And the second test match, which was a day-night pink ball test match in Adelaide, started at 9:30 a.m. So it didn't seem like we were watching test matches in Australia. Now it is a test match in Australia daytime. Brisbane, the Wollongabba, the Gabba test match, the ground where it is known for pace and bounce. Also seaming conditions where fast bowlers have taken a major chunk of the wickets over the years. The test matches have been played at the Gabba. But surprisingly, let me tell you that the first and the third highest wicket takers at the Gabba are not pacers. Shane Warne, the legendary leg spinner, and Nathan Lyon, the current champion off spinner, they have taken 68 wickets and 51 wickets respectively. Two of the top three leading wicket takers are surprisingly spinners, and spinners have got about only 25% of the wickets that have been claimed at the Gabba test matches over the years. 66 test matches have been played there, and not surprisingly, the second highest wicket taker is the man who can bowl on the same spot time and again, day in and day out, the champion medium paceman Glenn McGrath. Since the last time India visited, there have been very few draws, not just in test matches involving India, but the world over. Just have a look at it. 42 test matches since the Sydney Cricket Ground test when India drew bravely. After that, 6 out of the 42 test matches played in the year 2021, 7 out of 43 test matches played in 2022, 6 out of 34 in 2023, and only 1 out of the 48 test matches played in the current calendar year 2024 have all ended in draws. So that speaks about the outright results that have been attained, and it is only in the last 4 years that I am speaking about. There are 4 more test matches to be played in the current year, 3 of them involving India, with the upcoming Brisbane test match, India versus Australia, followed by the Boxing Day test match in Melbourne. And of course, there is this Pakistan tour of South Africa, where Pakistan take on South Africa in Centurion on the Boxing Day, and the England and New Zealand play their third and final test match in Hamilton on the same day as the India versus Australia test match begins in the Gabba. So it speaks about the teams going for outright victories, and it is not at all surprising. Test matches are ending in 3 days and 4 days. Very rarely are we seeing a test match entering the 5th day, like we saw in the second test match between Sri Lanka and South Africa in Gabba, which is formerly Port Elizabeth, where South Africa made a clean sweep, winning on the 5th morning in their country. It speaks about the teams going for outright wins, and outright wins are what Australia, they have won a majority of the test matches, especially in Brisbane, and it is not at all surprising that they have won. They have gone 31 test matches undefeated in Brisbane before India put an end to their unbeaten run the last time that India toured, thanks to Rishabh Pant's heroics on the final day in Brisbane in January 2021. So that ended Australia's 31 match unbeaten run since they last went down at this particular ground, the Gabba, to the West Indies in 1988. West Indies were then a formidable side with their foursome pace attack that went on demolishing the opposition the world over wherever they played. And since then, it is a sorry state of affairs with the West Indies cricket team, if you look at it in the current situation. Overall, Australia have won 42 test matches, lost only 10 at the Gabba, drew 13, drew 13, and when you talk about Brisbane, one thing that comes to mind is the historic first tied test match in December 1960 involving the visiting Frank Worrell's West Indies and Richie Benaud's Australia. It was a fantastic victory for Test cricket, a fantastic tie that will forever be remembered. And the second and only two ties have been created in Test history. The second one involved Australia and India in Chennai in 1986. So, what do we have in store over the coming 7 days? The Brisbane Test match, India, I feel, have given it away. They have let go of the advantage they had taken in Perth with that 295 run victory, and they have let go of that advantage and given it away to Australia in the Adelaide pink ball test match. Australia have now the momentum, they have now gained the confidence, and they are not going to be easy to beat in the remaining 3 test matches. It is felt that if whoever wins the test match in Brisbane will go on to win the series. Obviously, whoever wins the test match in Brisbane will take a 2-1 lead, and I don't see India being that team. There is heavy dependence on Jasprit Bumrah, and we saw for a brief while in the Adelaide test match that he was on the ground tending to his leg, though good news was that he resumed bowling and it is fine with him now. But Mohammad Siraj, we thought he bowled well, but ought to have contained and taken more wickets, but that was not the case. 4 wickets, yes, but for almost 100 runs. Harshit Rana, he was found wanting in only his 2nd test match. He is a youngster, a newcomer, and will certainly learn with experience. But in Australia, if you have to beat them, you have to be a champion bowler. Harshit Rana certainly has the makings of a quality fast bowler, but then he has to step up. Akash Deep could well get a look in. There could be a change in the spin department with Washington Sundar coming back to the playing 11. So out goes Ravichandran Ashwin, unless the Indian think tank decide to give Ravindra Jadeja a chance. The batting has to click, and that is the key to winning test matches. Gautam Gambhir will say or maintain that you need bowlers to take wickets, but then what will the bowlers do if they don't have the runs to bowl at? You cannot be bowling with only 150 runs or 180 runs that your batsman set up for you. And if in the recent past, if you look at it, the first innings runs have drained from the Indian batsmen. They have had two big second innings totals in the recent times against New Zealand in Bengaluru, which India still lost, and the second innings in Perth, which India won. But then, where are the runs in the first innings? If you look at it, they are all well under 200, and in that instance, in the recent time, we saw India all out for 46. So that is not going to win you matches. We need runs, and the batsmen have to click, and the senior batsmen have to lead by example. Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, the onus is on them. They have the experience, they are proven performers, and it is now up to them to step up and deliver for India and score those important runs, especially in the first innings. Of course, the youngsters are there, they have been performing. Shubman Gill has been getting starts, but it is important that he converts those starts into big scores. Yashasvi Jaiswal, we saw what he could do in the second innings in Perth, but he has to be consistent. He has still not scored a single run in the first innings in the two test matches that India have played. Newcomer Nitish Kumar Reddy, he has been one consistent performer, and his lowest score in his first four test innings have been 38 not out in the second innings in Perth. So that shows that he is ready to take on the responsibility, play according to the situation, and he did a good account of himself with the bat in Perth, scoring 41, 42 and 42 again in the second in Perth. So that is Nitish Kumar Reddy and his ability to play around the middle order and the lower order and taking charge of the situation. Bowlers, well, Jasprit Bumrah is a champion bowler, but he has to be well supported. Let's hope that India put up a repeat show of the 2021 test match when they defeated Australia for the first time in 30 plus years, 1988 to 2021, 33 years. That's when they remained undefeated at this particular ground before Ajinkya Rahani's India without Virat Kohli put a stop to Australia's victorious run. So let's hope that going back to a place where they have won on the previous occasion, Rohit Sharma and co this time do it again. Australia, they are also struggling with their key batsmen. Of course, Marnus Labuschagne got some runs, got back his confidence, scoring 50 odd runs in the Adelaide Test match, but all eyes will be on Steven Smith and how he can get back to scoring big runs that he has been known to and who has established himself as a leading batsman of the modern generation. The bowlers, well, they have been proven performers led by Pat Cummins, Mitchell Starc. Josh Hazelwood is likely to be back into the playing 11, and of course they have Nathan Lyon, who has still not set a fire to this series. So Nathan Lyon, of course, has taken wickets aplenty in Brisbane, and probably this is the test match that he could, as the test match wears on, be picking up wickets. But then India should not allow that to happen, and it is India that has to be putting all their act together and trying to regain the lead in this Border-Gavaskar Trophy. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe to this channel and encourage. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.